Hey, Peter. Thank you for giving me the opportunity again to present on such a crucial strategic decision for our company's future. I've conducted dozens of interviews internally and with outside consultants and industry experts, and I've come to a conclusion that makes a great deal of sense for us moving forward, and that is grounded in both data and lots of objectivity. In short, I'm advocating as to why we should let our company continue operating in its flexible way with two unique revenue models. So I'm going to start out with a quick story on how I believe remaining flexible has benefited other companies in the past. And then I'm going to outline two main points as to why I believe maintaining two unique revenue models is the right path for us. I'll then address a few counter arguments you may be thinking of as I walk through my points, and then finally I'll conclude. So first, Peter, I want to take you back to the mid-90s. And in particular, I want to highlight three ways in which the 90s was quite different from our world today. Number one was the internet, when, of course, people ordered things instead of online. They'd walk into a store and buy them in person. Number two is really around global shipping and logistics. So when delivery services took weeks to get you your goods instead of days or hours. And three is just entrepreneurship in general. Starting your own technology company required millions of dollars in upfront capital expenditure rather than significantly less substantial monthly subscriptions. Now, each of these technological and logistical advancements that has happened between the 90s and now was the result of not one unified revenue model, nor one solution to a single customer problem. Rather, one company unified around one fundamental pillar of good business practice, that is providing excellent customer service, was what allowed all these things to happen. And now I'm of course talking about Amazon. Now flipping the switch, I want to juxtapose this example with a company that chose to stay true to its singular business model despite changing customer tastes and preferences. Customers were staying in their homes more. They had technology at their disposal to watch things from their home instead of picking them up in stores or going to movies. Now, a company that you're well familiar with called Blockbuster, despite these changing preferences, chose not to focus on customer service, and rather they chose to stay tried and true to their current business model. And this, of course, ultimately ended in their demise. And so now, wrapping this up, if Amazon had stopped at e-commerce, it would never have expanded into global logistics and Amazon Prime subscriptions. And if it stopped there, it would not have grown its AWS cloud hosting platform into the most profitable business line, and in the process, democratizing technology entrepreneurship. So telling the customer what it wants, like Blockbuster, may create a good business temporarily, but listening to the customer and adapting revenue model along the way, all while focusing on number one, providing great customer service, is what builds the next Amazon. So now I'm going to list two main points as to why I believe continuing to operate with a more flexible revenue model is the right approach for us. Number one is we can no longer compete on product differentiation or price. Our patents have expired and competitors are flooding our space with equal quality but lower price goods. With these two pillars of our competitive strategy gone, we have no choice but to compete solely based on customer service. Listening to our customers and being adaptable to their wants and needs and desires over time will allow us to provide a service offering that goes beyond product quality and will allow us to charge higher prices. And point number two is remaining flexible will limit cannibalization of our customer base. From a financial perspective, half of this division's new customers are with us due to our strategy of providing great stuff, and the other half are with us due to our strategy of making great machines. So by eliminating one of these strategies, we're jeopardizing nearly half of our customer base we've worked so hard to secure. Now to address a few counter arguments you may be thinking of. Number one, you may be thinking a confused sales force around revenue model will be an ineffective sales force. I argue the opposite. A sales force with a singular focus on customer service will always know the right revenue model to suggest. They will not tell the customer, they will ask the customer. And counter argument number two, without a unique revenue model, how can we select customers? My response to that is moving forward, we will not operate as a product business that requires selecting customers. We will operate as a services business that will cater to unique customer needs. This is a change in mindset that would be hindered by focusing ourselves on one specific revenue model. So Peter, when you think of this decision, think of the most successful company of the past decade. Think of Amazon. By remaining flexible in our revenue model, we will be able to focus most singularly on providing the best customer service we can. And in an ecosystem of increased competitive intensity, given expiration of our patents, and one where we can no longer compete on product differentiation or price, customer service will be our greatest weapon. I strongly support the decision to keep operating with two unique revenue models and eagerly await your feedback.